Aloha, my Facebook friends. It is now 9:39. I know it's been a while since you've heard my voice. Lovely. Yeah. I felt the word from the Lord as I was standing and I was cleaning. And I said, wow, these kids will come in right in a minute and have another throw party. Remind me when I was young and Tifa's, my oldest one, her father, or their father, her and Nikki's. And they had a brother who was of age, but they wasn't. Or they weren't. Did I say it right? They were not. Okay. I gotta wake up, y'all. I've been sleeping and tired. But they just ran raggedy. It's just like it was still a house full of children. And so sometimes I sit here and I watch my kids and I watch Tifa. I say it's still a house full of children. But they have their moments. And we just lift them up in prayer. The Lord is good, though, because I believe there are good days. I believe there are good people. Yes, Lord, there are good people. I feel that in my spirit. There are good people. And I believe that. But I want to talk about Daniel and the three Hebrew boys. They were thrown in the fiery furnace. Now, I know I probably can pull so much more out of this story if I can go back and read it. But I got to give you what the Lord gives me. Because a lot of times these things that's dropped in my spirit, like last night, the one with homosexuality. That was a good one, right? Yeah, real homosexuals and straight homosexuals. Straight homosexuals are those men who just love the feeling of just having sex. It feels good to them. Emotionally, they need something. That's deep, because emotionally, they need something. And that is a temporary high for them. It's not sincere fulfillment. And then you have your real homosexual who just feel like, I am attracted to just this kind. I don't need another woman. I don't need to hide it. I am who I am. They really feel like it's a part of them. It's natural to them, and they can care less what you say. It's like being black. You reject it, oh well, this is who I am. And that's what they feel about homosexual. I'm just who I am. And they're good people. I was watching the show, and I kind of liked it. I know a lot of folks probably be against it, but I kind of like the show Queen's Fashion. And yesterday was the first day I looked at the one to the right, the heavier one, and I go, I think that's a man too. Because it says Queen's Fashion. All right. And then I looked closely. I said, yeah, I think that's a man. I didn't look at it for long, but I just thought, yeah. And you have to look at him. The one to the left, he reminds me so much about my uncle. He is so classy. Even though he's gay, he's very classy. He know better to be classy like that. And the one in the middle, like he's such a jokester. Remind me of one of my other uncles. One of those ones that are just free. I'm just free, baby. While the other one has his standards. And I couldn't pick up the character of the third one because she's more like, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's one that just she's proper, but she's not as classy as the one to the far left. But she's very proper. I see an Oprah in her. I was watching her yesterday, and I thought, oh, wow, this is really a Wendy. She really can be, they can be awesome. It's just so many of the same kind of shows coming up. You know what I'm saying? They're the same shows, and, you find one room on this show and one room on the other show, and, oh, they all look the same to me. Heck, just find me the ones who are genuine. I can't look at a bunch of screaming and shouting. I was looking at the one the kids like, and all that fighting and cursing and all. Yeah, if that's your life, baby, I'm telling you, that's not the life to have. Especially when you're invoking that anger. You know what I'm saying? I can see if there's obstacles in your way, and, it's the way you handle them. Because eventually you should get mature enough to not handle obstacles in the same way or in the same fashion, right? Yeah. But I tell you what, we're going to talk about the three Hebrew boys thrown in the fiery furnace, and it's talking about handling your situation. Now, we know the three Hebrew boys was asked to bow down. And they refused to. This was a law. They made it a law. It was a custom. That every time that you hear the horn, you have to bow down. Now, it was something in bowing down and worshiping. They was in a strange land. They had been taken into captivity. Now, it's been years since I read the three Hebrew boys. I would say about a year or two. Sometimes, the Bible is so big. Sometimes you just can't read it all. So the three Hebrew boys is a common story that's taught and preached throughout life because we all go through. And nowadays you don't hear that much because folks are not telling you to reject what is up or what is not of God. If the Lord said, go ahead and do it. That's fear. Not all the time you're going to do something that you know is outside of your belief, your standards. And I'm not going to even stick in the Bible. I'm going to tell you, your standards. You have standards. And when those standards are solid in you, I don't care what happens. You could be wrong, but they're still your standards. It's what you believe. It's stuck in you. It's molded in you. And so it's going to take a while for someone to loose those things. That's why you got to be patient when you're teaching people, because it's good to have standards. You don't want to just be pulled through life doing everything and anything people want you to do, right? You want to have some belief. Those beliefs keep you solid, steadfast, unmovable until such time God comes. Because I tell you what, I don't care what king is standing in front of you. His heart cannot be too hard for God. Ah, yes, Lord. I know God is a God who can loosen up some gravel, baby. It can make something solid weak. And that's my God. And I've seen him do it. Trust me, he knows he can do it. And so you don't have to worry about those people that are stuck on what they believe when God is involved. Now, if you're involved, yeah, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to start talking about them, hating on them. But when it's God, you're going to say, okay, you love them and walk on about your business, because that wasn't your fight anyway. You can't make anybody become who you are. You cannot force me to do what you want me to do. What is that called? That's a controlling spirit. If it's God, you don't have to worry about me, because eventually it's going to come down. And I don't have to worry about you, because eventually it's going to come down. You just got to be obedient to the Lord. Now, sometimes the Lord will have you stand there with folks, because, you know, you can't get in folks' business. You see someone say, oh, he's just a stubborn person. He ain't stubborn. He made his match. That's why he's still there. Oh, that's pretty. You know that. That is just so pretty, because he's met his match. That's why he's still there. His pride. No, because I know who I am, and I know that this is a bully. No, you a bully. Why you think God tell you to stand still? Because folks try to say, okay, now I know she thinks she's all that, or he thinks he's all that. I'm going to try him, especially when they sit in certain position, right? Just like with the 3 Hebrew boys. He didn't really want them to bow down. They just wanted to intimidate them and taunt them because they believed in their God. They wanted to see how steadfast they were in their belief. That's what it was. So, okay, we're going to make a rule. You know, was that one of Haman's rules? Who made that rule? It was a Haman act. It wasn't Haman. But I know that they were in captivity, and I want to say it starts with a B. It starts with a B. Come on, give me the name, because my time is almost up and I can't think about this B word. Start with a B. I know it starts with a B. B. It's right there and I can't grab it. But they was held in captivity. Start with a B. And anyway, the children of Israel, there were some that the king called and he made smart and he made wise. He allowed them to sit amongst him. Yeah, they was in slavery. They had enslaved Israel. What? God's people? Yeah, they brought them into slavery. And so now they have been in slavery for years. And there were some who said, you know what? We have the authority over them. Let's see what they're, because, you know, you get confident when you're winning, right? So their God ain't nothing because we're winning. And so you start trying to poke and pull them. You know their word. You know, you've heard them preach it. You've seen it written on billboards, so you want to test them to it. They know they're not supposed to bow down to any strange God, so let's make it a law. Let's let all the land know that anyone living amongst us can, every time you hear the trumpet roll, you have to bow down. And here come God's people. Do you not know, I believe almost all of them bowed down because there's only 3 people thrown in the fire, right? Unless they were just focused on these 3s. And the reason they was focused on these 3s, because these was the 3, or 3 of them, because they had called many of the children of Israel to sit amongst them. But these 3 or 4 proved themselves to be wise. And that was Beelzebub, we call them Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and Daniel. These was the 4. Daniel was not of the 3. He actually was thrown in a lion's den. Yeah, he wanted to see if his God would save him. And what did God do? God held the mouth of the lions. But the 3 Hebrew boys, they was thrown in the fiery furnace just because they held out. Their commitment, their dedication to God always stayed in spite of. And the king and his people said, let's make these laws that are against the law of God. See how many of them, when we've gotten to cross over to our side, now they're in captivity. Now that they are in strongholds. we're gonna have to take a commercial break right there because I want y'all to think about it. Think about what you would have done.